What is up, people? We are live. Now, look, I had to come and bring y'all this story because this stuff was blowing up last night, and everybody, excuse me, shoot, knew that was going to happen as soon as I went live. Everybody last night was hitting me up like, oh, Storm, you got to get this, Storm. Did you see what happened? Did you see the update? The baby mama spoke. Ryan spoke out. Anthony spoke out again. Well, you know, my source didn't talk to me and alerted me to a few things. So I actually want to roll through what Nina said, who is Ryan Henry's best friend's baby mother. We're going to roll through what Anthony said, which is the best friend of Ryan. And then I'm actually show you guys why, like, pretty much all of this shit is fraudulent at this point. Okay, are you guys ready? This is a whole soap opera right here, VH1 producers. If you are taking our content, I need my check. I need my 10%, okay? Okay, so let's go ahead and get into it, all right? Let's share this screen. And we're going to literally get right to it. All right, people, so can y'all see that? I know it's a little hard to see, so I'm going to read it to you, all right? So this is actually Nina Marie Velez. This is the baby mother of Anthony. This is the one that Ryan admitted that he was sleeping with, okay? These are her posts from her IG. Now, Nina, you blocked my main page on IG, but you know I got a ghost one, so you know we still got these receipts anyway. So let's read it down, and then I want y'all to let me know at the end what y'all think. So, oh, wait, that's part 2. Let's go down to part 1. Okay, part 1. She said, I decided in the beginning of this year that I was going to touch on some experiences I've gone through in honor of Domestic Violence Awareness Month. But with everything else that has transpired, it has overshadowed my true intentions in shedding light on the things that have happened in the past 6 years involving Anthony and I. Now, if you guys remember the other day when Ryan spoke out, you know, he took 16 minutes to say a whole bunch of nothing. When Ryan spoke out and told his side without giving us tea, he said that there's a lot more to the story that we don't know. So I guess this is the part that they were building up to. But here's the issue. He claims that he didn't ever want to blast this out, which means Ryan knew about this situation the whole time, allegedly, right? But I'm going to explain to you at the end why that's problematic for Ryan and what he stands for. Okay. The first photos are from when I was nearly 5 months pregnant with our son, Caden, which we've seen on the show. And the last few photos are from this month. So keep that in mind. Some of these photos I'm going to show you today are from when she was pregnant with her son. Some are from this year, allegedly. When I met Anthony, it was a whirlwind. I was young, naive, and in love. I jumped into a relationship with him without knowing the true person he was. Apparently, you jumped into bed with Ryan without knowing the true person he was as well. Okay. A master manipulator, he easily maneuvered his way into my life and slowly gained control. The first incident completely caught me by surprise. I was so in love and felt betrayed. I never knew him to be abusive. Well, you just said you didn't know him. If you didn't know him, of course you would know he was abusive, of course. Allegedly. The first incident. Oh, wait. A woman he was seeing at the time, a woman he was seeing at the same time he was seeing me tried to warn me and showed me proof with photos and messages. When I confronted him, he denied it and manipulated the entire situation so that I believed the other woman was crazy. After the first round of abuse, I immediately obtained a restraining order and tried to move forward, right? And so if he was beating on you and you obtained a restraining order, then this is something that everybody in the group would have knew because you guys were all close, because as I'm going to show, you guys were also taking trips together in the midst of all this abuse. Okay, we gonna put it together. I let him back in my life when I was almost 9 months pregnant. After Caden was born, I decided to stick out with his father and work it out to try to give my son the life I never had, which is one with a complete family and both biological parents in the household, even though now they are not both in the same household, but Nina and Anthony are still sexually active. Are y'all following this story so far? Are y'all following this story so far? They were literally just smashing one another as of last week. That's how Anthony found out, because he went and looked in her phone after Caden said, I know mommy's password. There was the spirit talking. You know, kids will blow up your spot real quick. All right, so let's go to part 2 of these posts. Boom. She said for the first 6 months of Caden's birth, it was bliss. Happiness because a new life was brought into this world. Soon I would experience complete emotional and mental abuse and manipulative behavior from this narcissistic man. In March, he would mark the last and final time I would be abused. That time I was completely incoherent and woke up out of that incoherence to being choked to the point where I would fall in and out of consciousness. For 2 weeks, it would hurt to swallow. What I came on here to say is that no matter what kind of hold or power a man or woman has over you, this is not acceptable. The person that I trusted to protect me and love me ended up intentionally hurting me, knowing that I was defenseless and weak both times. But you stay with him. And if this situation happened in March, you guys took a vacation in August of this year. I'm very confused. What hurts the most is that one time I make a mistake, which in my opinion is not as traumatic or terrible as what he has done, and he decides that publicly bashing me is the way to go down when I've consistently dealt with our issues privately. Abuse comes in different forms. Well, it wasn't that private because Ryan knew about it as well. That's why he said he wasn't going to say nothing. Okay. I still decided to try and forgive his behavior for the sake of our child, even after it all. I never disclosed any of this information to our child. Well, the child is too young to understand anyway. So, I mean, I get it. I'm not gonna really tell a 3-year-old or 4-year-old I'm being abused either. They really not gonna understand it. They can feel energy. Little kids definitely feel energy, but to explain abuse and going back and forth and what narcissism is and police reports, your toddler is not really gonna fully grasp all of that. Okay. Even though some people still can't remember to like age 3 or age 4. I still decided to try, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so she was saying, listen to your intuition and don't succumb to narcissistic or abusive partners' manipulation. There are so many resources out there for us women. Yes, there are. We're going to talk about it. That offer so much support, so please know you are not alone. So far, just for everybody that's coming in, so far at this point, the baby mother of Anthony is saying that she was beat by her man. She's saying that Anthony beat her since she was pregnant with the child, and the last time he beat her was in March of this year. Let's keep moving. So after this stuff came out last night, we saw the pictures. We see the bruises. Now, after speaking to Anthony, he claims the first incident that was over 6 years ago, he was actually the victim. We're going to look at that paperwork. And he claims that in the incident in March that happened, which he did tell us before on the show, there was 2 incidents of an altercation between them. He claims that he was attempting to restrain her when she was out of control. I don't want to sway y'all. I just want you guys to look at the proof, look at the pictures, and we're going to put it together. Now, this is what Nina had to say as far as video is concerned. Let's listen.
Believe me, here's my discharge papers from the hospital.
Oh, come on.
People don't want to believe me. Here's my discharge papers from the hospital the day that everything happened. I'm going through it quickly because I don't want you guys to see my information. But yes, this is all of that. Then this is the proof of me getting the restraining order, my statements to the police, everything. My whole entire statement. This is my domestic incident notice in March from when he did what he did. Just the information from the court. All of that. We also did a criminal sexual assault because of some other reasons that I thought something happened. In case y'all wanted to see information, there's your information and your proof, people. Proof.
Now, let's stop right there. Let's stop right there. We don't know when the bruises happen. Where is the date? That's what I'm saying. That's an issue too. But this is my issue. When you look at that paperwork, you saw some of those papers that said sexual assault because of what she thought might have happened, which means, ma'am, you were so intoxicated and incoherent that night, you're not actually sure what happened to you. Who is this that just hit my line? Okay, yeah, he sent me the movie. Yeah, we're gonna show that too. You're not actually sure what happened to you. And here's the thing. If you think that not only did this man allegedly abuse you, but he also sexually assaulted you, why were you still smashing him as of last week? Why were you still going on trips with him as of August of this year? Because let me ask you something. When you go on a trip with your baby mama, your baby daddy, and your child, what you doing on that trip? probably smashing. Let's keep moving.
People don't want to believe me. And then this is the last thing I'm going to say because I know he's just gotten on his live and he's showing you guys videos of me being drunk and all that. And that's going to be the excuse, because it's the excuse he's been giving for this thing that happened in March for the longest time. You know, that night, I said it in my picture and my caption, I was drunk, I was incoherent. Those markings were not from what was happening right then and there. Those markings happened while we were in our hotel room that night after his birthday. Again, choose what you guys want to believe. I don't care. I know what's the truth. I know what I woke up to. I know what I saw. I know what I went to the police for, period. And no one's going to tell my story and tell, you know, what my abuse was from what the felt and what the experienced. So believe what you want, guys. I said my piece.
Okay, so she said her piece. She said her piece. And so at that point, once she said her piece, then Anthony responded on a live himself. So I want you guys to now listen to what he said. Okay, let's go back, forward, and south.
Why she say what made her do it?
Damn it.
I'm about to post the other shit. Why she say what made her do it? Yeah, I'm not finished. Now social media not the place to handle my business. What the fuck y'all expect me to do? First, you expect me to just be quiet while her and Ryan fucking, don't let nobody know, just let her and Ryan fuck. Wow, I'm sitting here fighting for my fucking life. I'm stage 3 and shit. And I'm supposed to do what? Take that shit? Oh, I'm supposed to keep that shit quiet, right? Man, Ryan had nothing to do that shit. I know he did. That's some weak ass, pussy ass shit. If everybody been following me this whole time, look at the 2 interviews I did. Never said shit bad about her. Never said shit bad about Ryan. Nobody can find nothing prior to right now that I said anything bad.
All right. Let's go to the next.
No, I mean, Ryan, we ain't talking shit out, man. Y'all can believe that shit.
Ooh. Okay, so that's that. So then Anthony went and responded via live and said that, look, that ain't the complete truth. So let's get into what his version of the truth is, what he said happened. Okay, so let me make sure that I expand this so you can see it good. Now, this incident report here is from their original altercation that was in 2015. So July 30th, 2015. If you guys can see in the upper left-hand corner, Anthony is actually listed as the victim, okay? Now, when we go through it, this happened in Illinois. The report says, was transportation arranged, provided to relocate? They both declined. So neither one of them wanted to leave the house. They got the notices about what domestic violence is, standard procedures, and Anthony was actually given the domestic violence hotline number for himself because he was the victim. So I'm going to summarize the report. It says Nina and, well, now I know her name because I looked up her public records. Nina and Anthony were mutual combatants in a domestic dispute over money. While the facts of the incident are somewhat in dispute, just like now, the exact details are somewhat in dispute about this whole situation. Where both agree is that blank tossed a bag with, that's Nina, tossed a bag of hash browns at Anthony in a fit of rage. Not a bag of hash browns. Oh, Lord, well, I ain't gonna lie. You know I'm fat and I love hash browns too, so I'd have been mad too. Okay, I'm kidding. Anyway, Anthony claims he reacted to the projectile by extending his hand to block and inadvertently struck Nina. Reportedly then she continued in her rage in the car, and Anthony claims he used his hand to brace himself. Okay, so when I spoke to Anthony, he actually described the incident where she was attacking him in the car. Now, here's the issue, right? She threw hash browns at him. They were arguing over money, so them had to be McDonald's hash browns. Now, y'all know good and damn well. Y'all know good and damn well. Them McDonald's hash browns, especially when you get there early in the morning, you know, when you know they stop serving breakfast at 10:30. You know what I'm saying? So when you get there at 10, the hash ain't the same. But when you get there 7, 8 in the morning, when they really rocking and rolling, that stuff is hot. But them hash browns are hard as hell. So I'm just saying, you might not think it's a big deal, but you get a hash brown cut in the side of your eyes and see how that shit feels. It ain't gonna feel good. But I say all this to say this incident was over money. She threw hash browns at him, and he was literally trying to restrain her as they were driving in the car. Because, you know, when you fight and drive, that's usually how people get killed and have accidents and get killed. I'm just saying. We've seen it in movies. Some of us know. I know people personally where that's happened to. They didn't die, but they had a real bad accident. You do not want to look. You never, two places you never want to fight with your woman: in the kitchen and in the car. It's just that you're just not going to win. You're just not. But if the police thought she was the victim, she would be listed as the victim, but he is too, unless they were given two separate reports where her part of the report says she's a victim as well, because it says mutual combatants. I'm just going to say this to say she played her part in this one as well. We got to keep it real. Okay, so now then, I wanted to show y'all this. This picture was posted August 13, 2020. Now, the full picture is Rachel and Ryan and their kids with Anthony and Nina and their son. My whole thing is this. If he beat your ass when you were pregnant with Kaden, then he beat your ass again in March of this year, why were you on vacation with him in August? If you beat me up, there's no vacation we're going on. I don't care how many kids we have. I don't care how cool we are. I don't care what our friend group is. There's none of this. There's nothing. They do give two separate reports. Okay, fine. Because technically on his report, they have to black out Nina's name. So her name could also be listed as a victim too if it's a mutual combatantship. Whatever. I'm just here to let you know that man was still listed as a victim at the end of the day. We got to talk about all sides of the story. There's an issue with this. Okay, so now let's move along from that, right? Her and the son, him and the, okay, cool. Living it up. Let's move along. Cute kid. Now, I want to also take you guys back to Ryan's IG page, right? Because here's the thing. Ryan said in his video that he's known about things that have been going on between Nina and Anthony for a while, and he wasn't going to say nothing, and the truth will come out, and blah, blah, blah. Y'all was super close. Y'all was so damn close that y'all was swapping women and swapping fluids, all right? Probably doing the same types of positions. Now, you know, Nina didn't never clear up for us who was the better lover. Was it Anthony? Was it Ryan? The people want to know. Kat said he wasn't all that, but I'm just telling you what the streets say. Kat said y'all ain't missing too much of nothing, and Rachel said it's real ghetto over there. And I'm just saying everything attached to Ryan just seemed to turn to shit. So I just feel like if everybody around you saying he the problem, he might actually be the problem. Okay, so now this was actually in July 20th of 2020, a few months after Nina allegedly got beat by Anthony. I'm going to give her the original fight she said happened 6 years ago. I'm going to give her that. I'm going to give it to her. You can have it. But you got to explain to me how that shit happened in March, and then by that summer, y'all was still cool. So as you see, this is Ryan, and I don't know who that light-skinned dude is, but as you see in that picture, who's next to him there? You got Don, then Anthony, Ryan, and then the other light-skinned dude. So she's getting beat, but y'all all cool and partying with one another? Come on now. I don't think it's Ryan. That is Ryan. Ma'am, that is Ryan. It's from his page, and that's clearly Ryan. Look at the tattoos. Hold up. Look at the tattoos. You see the 1986 right here on his chest. I'm assuming that's the year he was born. Okay, now let's move through. That's all them posing right there. Partying, kicking it. Clearly Anthony, there they go. So, and 4 was there too. So with that being said, Ryan knew what was going on the whole time. And instead of actually helping this girl get help, instead of actually doing what you say to the world you do, you just give her some penis. She needed protection, not penis, Ryan. Let me say that again for everybody that didn't hear me. If all of that is true, Nina needed protection, not penis. You ain't no better than Jada Pinkett taking in strays. Brashear Gray, August Alsina, talking about she nursing them back to health, nursing them to hell. They looking like goons and goblins and all sucked up and screwed up when they get through it. You ain't helping them. August needed rehab, not Jada's vagina that she had to get rejuvenated after. Man. Now let's move right along from that. Now, I say all of that to say, let me exit these out to move along to, oh, that's my IG page site. That's the one I got the information on. Okay, so now this is where I'm going to end off. This is where I'm telling you how either Ryan and Nina is a liar, or Ryan is actually running a false nonprofit organization. And let me actually tell you why. Now, we know what the Nova Star Project is. He's talked about it on the show. Nova Star is named after his of Ryan's sister that was killed decades ago in a domestic violence situation. Really sad story. I'm not going to harp on that because that ain't nothing to make fun of. That's really unfortunate. But I say all this to say this. This project was established in 2019, as you guys see from the bottom of the website, and we're going to go to the IG page where their first post was in 2019. So shit was copyrighted and incorporated 2019, period. Now, let's go to the team. I'm sorry, let's look at the mission first. The mission is to educate, strengthen, and empower survivors by bridging the gap to a life of safety through comprehensive support services. Now, it's mighty funny to me how that's y'all mission, but in a year's time, y'all have only put on 3 events. So what have y'all really been doing for the people in your community? Or are you just funneling your money through this nonprofit organization that people need to know? Now, let's look at the team. Let's look at the team. Vice president of the organization is Yolande Henry. That's Ryan's mama. Then Ryan is the president, founder, and he's the face of it. Then look who's the executive director. Look who's the executive director. So all y'all telling me that y'all knew that Anthony was allegedly beating Nina, and you made him the executive director of a nonprofit organization for abused women? This shit is fraud. Either Nina and Ryan came up with that abuse story and they added some extra details to throw us off, or this organization right here is all fraudulent. It's fraud. It's fraud. They'll put on a few little events, but they ain't really trying to help people. And this ain't nothing but a way for Ryan to funnel in his money from VH1, from his tattoo shops, from everything that he do. You got to understand, entrepreneurs, we out here on 1099s. You got to Chris Jenner your way to keep your money coming in. You ain't really trying to pay them taxes like that. You got to do what you got to do. Chris Jenner got a church. She run that money through. Beyonce got a church. They run a lot of their money through. You get your 501c3 once that stuff is approved, no taxes. You don't get paid in Ryan Henry's name. You get paid to Nova Star Project. Everybody writes a check to whatever the LLC is behind this shit, and that's how you keep your money flowing through and flowing in. Embezzle. Y'all bet not I got no PPE check either. Embezzle. Somebody might be going to jail today. Y'all might want to take all this shit off your shit. I'm just saying. It's ridiculous. The abuse started 6 years ago. The most recent event was in March, but this project was established in September 2019, and you made him the executive director knowing he was beating on Nina the whole time, and you thought instead of using your own nonprofit organization for what it's supposed to be for and give her protection, you gave her peanuts. And peanuts ain't gonna heal her. It didn't even do nothing for Cat. Cat went with your ass. Cat went like one time. You know, Cat was into 4. Cat was always into chocolate from Black Ink, okay? She went from dark. She went to the light with Ryan and ran right back to Doc. She went after she got through with Ryan, got screwed over by him. She went straight back to Doc, chocolate, built real black. She went back to black real quick. So apparently everybody is very dissatisfied. Okay, now let's actually look through this organization. We're going to look at their events in 1 year. 1 year, people. Oh, okay. So this is the next event right here. Now, here's the funny thing. This was not there just a few minutes ago. So y'all updating this as we go, but that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. But let's look at photo gallery. That's all y'all have. This is all the same event. Look. Y'all see that? Look at that. That's Anthony right there. That's a old girl. That's Mimi's girlfriend, Ty. There go Anthony again. There go Ryan. Ryan's mom. Look at that. Y'all act like y'all really doing something, but y'all sure wasn't helping Nina if she was allegedly getting beat. Look at that. Look at him speaking. Look, y'all allowed him to speak. How you allow him to speak at a domestic violence event when you saying he was beating on a woman the whole time? Come on now, you got to think through your lies. That's what you call it. That's Nick Young. No, I don't know who that is. Okay, so now let's go to Instagram. I'm gonna pull up their IG page really quick. We'll be right back. Hold up. Okay, now let's share this screen again for the Nova Star Project. Come on, damn it. There we go. Okay, so as you guys can see, Nova Star Project, 17.9 thousand followers, right? Only following 9 people. Who is it following? Boom. Follows Anthony, of course, because Anthony was allowed to run the page. Anthony runs the IG page. Follows Rachel, follows Ryan Henry, and that lion shade that's at the top, that's the mom. So follows the mama, Ryan, and Rachel. Now, and 9 Mag TV. Now, let's go through, right? Last post was just 3 days ago, because guess what? Anthony's the one that's posting it because he's allowed to run it because he's the executive director. Now, let's go ahead and move down. Wait a minute. October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, but was nobody aware for Nina? Y'all just gave a penis instead of protection? Okay, let's go through. We're going to go all the way down. There's the video with Ryan and his godson. Reposted. Come on, man. So his daddy was so bad, but you're watching his son. Come on, man. Come on. Okay, we're going to go through, scroll through. Oh, wait a minute. Y'all see that? It says, hello, Nova Star Project. This email confirms you have received a donation of $2,000 from 9 Mag TV Inc. You can view the details here. Oh. Now, if y'all ain't really putting on no events, what y'all do with that $2,000? Okay. Anywho, embezzled. So now we're going to scroll all the way down to the very first post that was made September 26, 2019, just like we verified on the website that was made September 26, 2019. Wow. That should have thought that lie just a little more through. And just to prove that this ain't fake, look who commented at the very top. That's Rachel's IG page with the check mark, Rachella. So this IG page is real. The project is real. The organization, it's created. Are they actually doing anything with it? No. This shit has to be fraudulent. because they had a very woman in their circle that allegedly was being beat, and they didn't use none of their resources to help her. Let's see what they've done for the community in a year's time, because you can get a lot done in a year. Okay, we have one celebrity basketball game. One, and that was October 2019. Other than that, so that's one. Then, okay, we had a NovaCare. We had a NovaCare event. That's two. No, that's the same one. Let's see. Let's see what else. Okay, it says adopt a family. What did y'all do with all these donations? Because y'all sure wasn't helping nobody near you. We're looking. We don't see any other events. Look. We seeing a lot of reposts, but why y'all weren't putting on events? That's it. It's fraudulent. And so in Ryan and Nina coming together to try to tell this lie, because let me tell you something. When somebody ain't lying, they can come right out with the truth. Why Nina wait so long to even tell us that? Why they wait so long to even tell us that? And let me say this. Now that they have come up with that lie, now you got to come up with another lie to cover that lie. Now you got to explain why in a year's time your charity has not been out here being charitable, especially to the one person that's in y'all circle that y'all, if she was getting her ass beat, y'all knew it. Because you confided in her, or she confided in you, and you gave her peanuts instead of protection. All right. I'm going to let two people comment, and then I got to go. I got an interview to do, but I had to come and break this story. How many events you want them to have? I feel like 3 in a year is a good amount. They all have other jobs. Well, here's the problem. COVID shut everything down, in March? So we see they had an event September, October, but where was November, December, and January? Where was the giveaways for Christmas? Where was the giveaways for Thanksgiving of last year? When you have an organization, you have to be charitable. And I'm calling it fraudulent. Because if you tell me you run a nonprofit organization that offers resources to women that are being abused, and the very woman in your circle that you know is being abused, you offer none of these resources, you give her peanuts and not protection? Then y'all saying, well, they got jobs, they can't run it like that. I understand they got jobs. That's why you hire people. Just like you hire people for your tattoo shop, you hire people to run your nonprofit. It's a 501c3. You ain't paying no taxes anyway. All that shit you gonna write up anyway. So why ain't nobody running that for real, for real? You got a board. It looks like the tax man told you exactly how to set up your website, your phone number, your blah, blah, blah. It looks very IRS approvable until you really start digging and doing research. Man. That's all I can say. So I'm gonna give y'all a few minutes to see if anybody want to come say something real quick before I head out, because I got to go do this interview. Okay. I just can't believe it. It's like y'all gotta come up with something better than that. You definitely got to do better than that.
Shout out to all the cosmetology workers out there. Your work.
Oh, boom. There we go. Anybody else? We done? We cool? He's a colorist. Got his feelings hurt. Well, I can't say he's a colorist, but that's what y'all saying. Nonprofit must have a board. The board cannot be made up of more than 50% of persons with interest in the company. Woo! So the whole thing is fraudulent. Y'all needed more people on the board. Lord. Okay. Well, guys, I'm finna go. Thank you guys for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe, share if you care. Also, make sure you check out my my backup channel, Storm Uncut. The link is in the actual community feed. All right. I'm going out of town next week, and so I just want to be drinking, playing cards with y'all on live. Oh, we got one. We got one before we go. All right, come on. Actually, I'm sorry. Oh. Okay. On the board. Hey, you got like 30 seconds before we head out. Go ahead with your
Guys,
comment.
I'm gonna go. Thank you.
I just wanted to say, let me turn you off over here. I want to say, well, if he has a nonprofit, COVID came in, so he might not be able to put any shows on. I really don't know what he did, but it seems like if he had a nonprofit, that could have taken most of his time. COVID.
Well, COVID happened. When did COVID shut things down? That was what, February, March?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, that organization was created in September. So my thing is, where are the pictures for Thanksgiving? What did you do for Christmas? Because the holidays are when a lot of times women get abused the most because the kids are home from school. It's very stressful. If money is an issue, they're really getting their ass beat. So it's like, I didn't really, no, I'm not even trying to be funny, like for real. Like the holidays are the worst time. And so, especially in Chicago when it's cold and everything is, you can't do shit. You in the house.
Okay, I could understand that.
So through the holidays, y'all dropped the ball, and then you're supposed to have people to run that anyway. So something's not making sense.
Well, I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. You know, the two Hart brothers working, they put their mom on. So I'm thinking they probably had a lot of things to do. So they probably do probably 2-3 times a year, like you said. But COVID came in and that knocked a lot of people out. So I'm trying to give these brothers the benefit of the doubt. But again, like you said, if the young lady was getting beat and whatnot, I really don't want to say it, allegedly, if the young lady was getting beat and he wasn't doing anything about it, then I can see your point.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. So thank you so much for coming on. I'm gonna run these commercials and I'm out of here. You have a good one, okay?
Thank you.
All right now. Yeah, sorry guys, I gotta head out, gotta run these commercials, and I gotta head to my next interview here.
Out here looking like ragamuffins. You guys are the true MVPs. And since you guys are the true MVPs, I'm about to bring you the most valuable app to your career. Share is a salon and barbershop booth rental app that's available in over 625 cities. Been featured in Forbes magazine, Fortune magazine, and more, and is known as the Airbnb of the cosmetology industry. Now you might be asking, share. Yeah, if you try to say it like 7 times back to back, your tongue is going to get tired. But most importantly, what's not going to be tied up is your money, because with share, you can literally work out of any salon, spa, barbershop, at your leisure. Okay, you just simply pay your fee and that's it. So share is not going to take a commission, they're not going to take an extra cut, and you ain't going to owe them at the end of the month. This app ensures that you are able to work out of whatever space you want to at your particular leisure. Share booking. All right, prices start at just $15 per day, so you damn near gonna get your first booking for free. Are you a bad bitch? Are you a bad bitch? Are you a bad bitch? Is you a savage? Well, whether you are a bad bitch or a savage or whatever you want to call yourself, I am here to talk to you today about a book called Bad Bitches and Perfect Pitches that is authored by Precious Williams. One of the biggest differences between you and your competition in any facet of your life is the fact that they know how to effectively communicate and you don't. See, in this world, you don't have to be the smartest, you don't have to be the prettiest, you don't have to have the most money, but you do have to be able to sell yourself. Now, Precious Williams comes from the inner city of St. Louis, and she, in her book, has shown you how to elevate your life by using the gift of gab, using your words, using communication. Bad Bitches Empower Pitches. If you're trying to sell a book to someone, if you're trying to work on your elevator pitch for a meeting at work, if you're trying to elevate your career, if you're trying to bring clients into your business, and just to learn how to effectively communicate out in the world, then you can definitely benefit from this book.